you guys see that it's like a little pamphlet here. We're going to just fold it in half so that we have the opposite value title at the top. And you know you've got it folded correctly when the back is blank, right? Okay, so it should look like this. So go ahead and fold it to match mine. And then at the very top, we are going to start with our vocabulary. So we have opposites, and we've already been talking about opposites a little bit. So we're going to just be consistent and use that same definition that we've been using. This is also on your guys' green notes from yesterday. But remember, opposites are numbers that are the same distance from zero on a number line but in different directions. Again, opposites are numbers that are the same distance from zero on a number line, but they're in different directions. Okay guys, so we're going to, on number 2, it's asking us to decide whether each pair of numbers are opposites. And we're going to use that number line to help us determine the answer. Okay, so let's look at our first box. Our first set of numbers is 4 and negative 5. So if I come up to my number line here and I look, here's 4, and I'm just going to put a dot right there. Here's 4. And then here's negative 5. Okay. I see that they are on different sides of my number line, so part of it's true, but then I need to make sure that they're the same distance from 0. Well, positive 4 is 4 spaces from 0, and negative 5 is 5 spaces from 0. So that means that these two would be not opposites. We're just going to circle that right there, not opposites, because they're not the same distance from 0. Okay, our next set of numbers is 6 and negative 6. So I'm going to go ahead and put a dot here at 6 and a dot here at negative 6. Okay, so again, I see that they're both on opposite sides of the number line, right? One's on the positive side, one's on the negative side. So we know it's partially correct so far. Now we have to check to see, are they the same distance from 0 on a number line? Well, I know that positive 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces from 0. And negative 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces from 0. So it follows both of our rules. They're on opposite sides and they're the same distance from 0. So that means 6 and negative 6 are opposites. Okay? Let's look at our next set. We have 7 and 7. Oh, I'm going to put a dot right here at 7. And then I also have 7. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I know that 7 is 7 spaces from 0, and 7 is also 7 spaces from 0, but I see that they're not in different directions. They're both positive, and remember, in order for them to be opposites, one has to be positive, one has to be negative. So those are not opposites. Okay, let's look at our last set of numbers. We have negative 8, so I'm going to put a dot right here at negative 8, and a positive 8. Okay, right away I see that we know that they're in different directions, right? One's a positive and one's a negative. So they're in different directions on our number line. Then I need to check to make sure that they're the same distance from 0. So again, I can count. I'm going to start at 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one's 8 spaces. And then I'm going to check negative 8 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's also 8 spaces. So they're the same distance from 0 and they're on opposite sides, so we know that they are opposites. Okay, so blank is its own opposite. Ooh, a number that is its own opposite. Well, we know from our conversations that we've had, 0 is neither negative nor positive, so 0 is actually its own opposite. It is the only number that's like that. Okay? Number 4, we're asking, what is the opposite of 10? Well, we can use our number line up here, right? We could plot 10 up here on our number line. And I need to find a number that is 10 spaces from 0, but is on the opposite side of our number line. So the opposite of positive 10 would be a negative 10. Good job. Okay, what is the opposite of negative 200? Well, our number line doesn't go up that high, but I have to figure out a number that's 200 spaces from 0, but instead of being on the negative side, it has to be on the positive side. So what's the opposite of negative 200? 200. Good job, guys. Okay, now number 6, here's where it gets a little bit more intense for us, guys. A negative sign can be used to show the opposite of a number. So remember in mathematicians, we like to use symbols to represent words, right? Like we have our multiplication symbol, our addition symbol, things like that. We're going to be introducing you guys to some new symbols throughout this unit. So here's our first one. A negative sign can actually show the opposite of a number. So for instance, like on number 7, if you see a number like this, whoa, looks like we have 2 negatives, right? But how we read that in math, that first negative, this one right here, that actually means the opposite. So we would read this number as, what is the opposite of negative 9? Okay? So you can think of it as the opposite of negative 9. So when you see that doubled up like that, a negative of a negative, we're just saying, what's the opposite of negative 9? Okay, so that's a little bit more challenging. So now we want to find out, what is the opposite of negative 9? And we could use the number line to help us, right? So the opposite of a negative 9. Well, negative 9, I'm going to plot right here on my number line. Okay? And the opposite of negative 9, so I want to know a number that is also 9 spaces from 0. Here's my 0 right here. But I want the opposite of the negative 9, so that means it has to be a positive 9. Okay, so again, when we have it like this, this is just another way to ask, what is the opposite? Of negative 9. Okay? Again, like we said, sometimes mathematicians, we like to make things short and sweet, so we use symbols for it. Okay, so that's another way that we use that negative sign, that negative symbol. All right, 6th grade, so you guys are going to use these notes to complete today's assignment. And then remember, when you're finished with the notes, you're going to glue those into your spiral, and you will be submitting your assignment on Canvas.